ask any evolutionist a simple question: how do you tell right from wrong? They can't answer it. They have no way to tell right from wrong. There's no such thing as wrong if evolution is true. Is it wrong to go next door and eat the neighbor's baby? The lion does it all the day long. So where's the standard for right and wrong? That's why I say, well, the kids in Columbine High School, they were strong believers in evolution. One of their kids' dad was a geologist. The geologists teach that each of the layers of the earth is a different age, the geologic column. They don't tell you that this is not found any place in the world. There is no geologic column. The whole thing is made up in 1830. It's true the earth has layers, but how can they be different ages? I ask them all the time. If the top layer is younger, where did it come from? Did it come from outer space? Are these layers being added to the earth? How can it be different? They're all the same age. Moving it from here to here does not make it a different age. Shuffling cards doesn't make the top card younger. Every speck of dirt on the planet is the same age, whether it's 6,000 or 6 trillion. But this geologic column is actually the Bible for the atheist. That's the way they think. Back in the Jurassic period, there's no such thing as a Jurassic period. It's such a lie. There you go. Charles Lyell made this up, British lawyer, purpose being to discredit the Bible. He was close friends with Charlie Darwin, okay? He made up the idea that each of the layers of the earth is a different age, this geologic column. They say the top layer is only 10,000 years old, the bottom layer is 2.5 billion. Where was all this dirt sitting for 2.5 billion years? How can the layers be different ages? Where did it come from? Outer space? There's no geologic column. I show them pictures like this, which blows their mind, what little bit they got left. All over the world, petrified trees are found standing up, running through all the layers. One tree, petrified, standing up, connecting all the layers. I said, guys, how long does a dead tree stand around? A couple years? If all those layers were formed in one big flood in the days of Noah, they would all form in 1 year. Sure, that's reasonable. See, if the moon is pulling the tide up and down, right now the moon pulls the, it's where it spins under the moon, so it looks like the tide to us is going up and down, okay? But that's because it keeps...
You do believe the earth spins?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a flat earther, and I'm a geocentric. The Earth spins, and it goes around the moon.
I'm interested to talk about that, too, because
anyway, the tide is pulling the moon's pulling the water up and down.
Yeah.
Which means if it's holding that tidal bump under the moon while the Earth spins, from one side it's constantly sucking water into that bump. At the same speed the Earth is turning the other way. Well, at the North Pole it's turning 0 miles an hour. At the equator it's 1,037.6. Up where I live in Lenox, Alabama, we're turning 886 miles an hour toward the east. If the water was going 900 miles an hour, what would that do? Well, it would take all the rocks and roll them against each other like a rock tumbler and round them off. I live in the middle of a 140-acre old gravel pit. We have trillions of rocks that are all rounded off. The gravel layers that start in Alabama go to North Carolina. There's 500 miles of 7 gravel layers. You can dig anywhere in there and hit gravel. They make gravel pits all over the place between Alabama and North Carolina.
Yeah, there's one right by, I've got 65 acres in North Carolina. There's a gravel pit right there. Right down the street.
And I bet the rocks are rounded off. Smooth rocks. They call it river rock when you go to buy it at the hardware store. That's pure baloney. It's from the flood. The moon just simply holds a bump of water, but today the tide goes up and down and it keeps banging into stuff like continents, Florida, etc. If all the continents were gone, if you pushed them all down and smoothed out the world, there's enough water out there to cover the earth 1.5 miles deep. The oceans average 12,000 feet deep. If you had 1.5 miles of water and the tide was going up and down uninterrupted, it would become harmonic. I taught physics for years, but a harmonic tide would go up and down 200 feet. Okay, if the water's coming up 200 feet, where's the water coming to fill that bump? Where's it coming from? Sideways. It's constantly being sucked in from all sides, and from the east, it's always being sucked in at the speed the earth is turning the other way. So the water going in and out of that tidal bump is what's going to make all these layers in a few hours.
Interesting.
All this up in Birmingham, north of, I just drove through there yesterday, okay? They find hundreds. This guy, he works there, he's a supervisor. He works at Troy State University. He said, yeah, we find petrified trees standing up all the time, running through 2 seams of coal or 3 seams of coal.
And what do people say when you show them this?
They go to a new topic. They change. I say, guys, you're telling me these layers are different ages. It is just simply not logically possible. But see, when you do this, you're attacking their Bible. This is their Bible, the geologic column. They think that way. They talk in terms of, well, back in the Cretaceous period. There's no such thing as a Cretaceous period or Jurassic. All these layers formed in 1 year from the tide going up and down.